YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here. I have some exciting announcements to cover. The biggest things in these announcements are going to be announcements regarding Total War Warhammer, Total War Warhammer 2, and there's some pretty big announcements about as of yet unannounced Total War titles, historical titles, and I think you'll want to hear it. So let's kick things off by I'm going to just walk you through real quick all the things I'm going to cover. So this what the teams are working on is a huge piece of the update, so we'll get to that last because I think it's the most exciting. We're going to cover the High Elves army roster, which was announced. FFA is coming back in Warhammer 2. That's free-for-all game mode, so that's exciting. But first, let's start off. If any of you all enjoyed the giveaway that I did last month where I gave away a gaming computer, guess what? Giveaways are here to stay. They're going to be here every month. Now, it is going to be a struggle for me to give things away overseas because the shipping cost is absurd. I was just curious. I went down and I asked how much it would cost to have shipped that gaming computer of mine to just, let's say, somewhere in like mainland Eastern Europe, just out of curiosity. And it was like almost $300 US. It was a $1,000 computer, almost $300 a ship. So some of you may be like, how come you can't ship stuff or do the giveaway in every country? Well, here's what I'm going to do. Because I hear you. I have viewers all over, and I want to do my best to get everybody participating. So I'm going to look into how I can give away physical prizes all over the world without having to pay such crazy shipping. So I'm going to look into that. In the meantime, each time I do a giveaway, I'm going to have a soft giveaway of some sort, meaning software, like a game or a Steam gift card or something else like that I will give away to someone in a country that I can't ship to. Well, what countries can you ship to? In terms of giveaways, and this should cover actually the majority of my viewers based on subscribership, the US and Canada. So those are the two countries that I can ship to. So if you're in the US and Canada, you qualified to win one of these physical prizes, but whatever giveaway I do, no matter where you live, join, because I will have a prize worldwide. It may not be a physical prize I can ship to you, but it could still be a cool prize like winning a Steam gift card or something else like that. So that's how I'm trying to make it fair for now, and like I said, I will figure out a way to do what I can in the future, because yes, I know people outside the US and Canada watch me, and I'm extremely grateful for your viewership. So what am I giving away this month? Well, this is one of them. It's the Glaive RGB gaming mouse from Corsair. I wanted to kind of review this thing and get to see it. Why this? I love Corsair peripherals. No, they're not sponsoring me. I bought this out of my own pocket. I just thought it was a cool mouse. I wanted to review it, and then I'm going to give it away to one of you because I've already got a great mouse, and I figured someone would enjoy an awesome gaming mouse. If you want more information, I'll have a link in the description. I'm going to give away this mechanical keyboard. So this is a pretty sweet prize. It's a $100 keyboard. This is a K68 mechanical keyboard with Cherry MX switches, and it is spill resistant in case you get a lot of coffee and dust around your keyboard. So pretty cool stuff. It's backlit, a lot of dynamic lighting. This is not RGB, it's just backlit with red, but still a great keyboard. And then as a smaller prize, I'm going to give away this this MM300 extended mousepad. I actually use this at home and I absolutely love it. The way it's set up here, it's really awesome. Makes your game station look sweet. So these are going to be 3 separate prizes. One person will win the mouse, one person will win the keyboard, one person will win the mouse pad. And at a later date, I'll detail the Steam gift cards or games that I'll be giving out, so keep an eye on that. All right, let's move on to the Total War news, which is really the main purpose of this video, but I did want to cover that real quick. So, FFA. Woo! That's right, it's back in Warhammer 2, baby. A lot of us have been pushing for this because Warhammer is the perfect platform for free-for-all. Absolutely stoked for this. So, what do we know? They announced that free-for-all is going to be back in Warhammer 2. A couple of key things to note. It is a multiplayer game mode. And no, that's not multiplayer campaign. Multiplayer game mode. And so the winner's determined by score. So in the past, when you had free-for-all in Rome and Medieval 2, there was a scored resolution and a last man standing. In this case, they tell us that it's going to be a score that wins the game. That's a good thing, because one of the problems you could have in free-for-all when it was last man standing is that no one wanted to engage because no one wanted to be the first person to get killed. In this case, you get points for dealing damage to enemy units, as well as being the last player standing. So there's a little bit of incentive for both. So it sounds very cool. I'm excited about this. It says free-for-all battles are played on bespoke maps, which are designed to channel the player movement and reward active playstyle. So that's a good idea. You definitely want to have the right maps for free-for-all. And free-for-all matches, it says, will be available through the battle list. So this, who knows? Maybe they'll add it to quick battle one day, but right now we know it's through the battle list. So a couple of additional notes. It says FFA is only available in multiplayer battle list. It's only available as a 4-player mode, so that's 1 versus 1 versus 1 versus 1. So 4-player free-for-all. And it says they may make changes. The other thing to note here is that, yes, you can use the factions from Warhammer 1 in free-for-all if you own both games. So that was announced too. So free-for-all is back. CA, yes. Thank you. Man, it's about time. We love this, but hey, I say it's about time, but thank you. This is great. Really appreciate you listening to community feedback and bringing this back. That's a big deal, and I'm really excited about it. High Elf Army Roster. I did not get to dig into this as much as I want, but they did announce the High Elf Army Roster. These guys are looking cool. And just to cover it really quickly, again, I'll have a link in the description if you want to go read all the details. But as far as their lords, and I may pronounce stuff wrong, I'm sorry. I don't know the Warhammer universe as much as I'd like to, but Tyrion is a High Elf Prince, and then his twin brother Teclis. So these are going to be the two legendary lords. Tyrion is like the melee lord, and then Teclis is going to be the mage or magic type lord. And if we look right here, it says Tyrion, melee lord. He can be on foot or on an elven steed. And then as far as the caster, again on foot or a barded Ethelmar steed, which sounds really cool. There is, as generic lords, there's a generic melee lord, a generic missile lord, which is kind of cool. And if we look at the mounts, there's a steed, a great eagle, a sun dragon, a star dragon. Interesting that neither one of the legendary lords can be on a flying unit, but maybe that's some kind of lore thing I don't understand. And look at all the different dragons. We'll talk about that momentarily. So the missile lord is a princess, which is really cool. And it's going to be kind of like the Glaive, I would imagine. And then we have a melee slash magic hero. Interested to see how this one plays out. It's called Lore Master of Hoeth, and it's just on foot. And then we have a caster hero as a mage, and then we have a noble who's a melee hero. So it's kind of interesting. We have like supposedly kind of a... I'm very curious to see how these units play out. Melee hero that can be on foot, steed, chariot, or a great eagle. So that gives a lot of flexibility. As far as melee infantry, they announced spearmen, sword master of Hoeth, white lions of Tras, or however you say that, Trace, melee infantry's Phoenix Guard, and then we switch over to missile infantry, archers with light armor, Lothran Sea Guard, which sounds really cool, or Lothran, we'll say Lothran Sea Guard with shields. So this is a big deal. If these are anything like, and they may not have the armor level that Quarrelers do, but having a shield and being a skirmisher means that these guys could potentially be very deadly. These guys just sound awesome. Silver helms, and I heard so one other thing I forgot to mention real quick, Creative Assembly did invite me to come get hands-on with Warhammer 2 like you've seen some of the community members got to do. I couldn't go though because I had a work engagement, so I don't have hands-on experience with this, and I apologize. I wish I was able to go, but I just couldn't because of work. Silver helms with shields. And then we go into the melee cavalry. Dragon princes, I don't know what the heck that is, but it sounds awesome. Ellyrian reavers sounds freaking awesome as well. All this just great. I loved the wood elves, and the high elves are sounding awesome too. Missile cavalry, so we got these Ellyrian reaver archers. Artillery, an eagle claw bolt thrower. So no artillery for the wood elves, and there is an artillery unit here for the high elves. Not much though, it's just the one unit, so interesting. And then a missile chariot, we have the Tyrannoc chariot, which sounds interesting. I wonder if it's like a wolf chariot, or if it's heavier, or what. We have the Ethelmar chariot, which kind of looks more like a typical melee chariot. And then in terms of flying monster, we have the Flame Spire Phoenix. This sounds really cool. And then the Frostheart Phoenix. This just sounds great. I'm looking forward to it. And then there's a Great Eagle, like we've seen with the Wood Elves. And then 3 different dragons. Yes, 3 dragons. And we all know, too, due to an announcement, that all the dragons actually have a breath attack, like fire or whatever else it is. And we have a moon dragon, star dragon, and a sun dragon. This is exciting, people. So dragons having a breath attack is really cool. It's going to make those feel awesome. And then there's all these different types of dragons. This looks to be exciting to me. Very excited about the High Elf roster. Looks like a lot of fun. Now, on to the really cool announcements. I don't know if you all caught this or not. I only caught this because I saw Ninja Hun talking about it in the stream. I actually missed this in the tweet, and I don't think Creative Assembly called enough attention to this. There's some big announcements in here. Now, Arena Team, I'm sorry. If you're at Creative Assembly and you're working on Total War Arena, I'm sure you're doing a lot of good work, but it's a MOBA, and I can't stand MOBAs. So, in any case, we're going to move on to the good stuff. So, new content team. The Old Friend, which we've heard about before, it's a DLC pack for Total War Warhammer 1. Total War Warhammer. We didn't know exactly what it was, but check this out. This is where it gets cool. The Old Friend will be the next content drop for Warhammer, and it's tied to an event later in the summer. So later this summer. And let's go on to read here. It says, think along the lines of Blood Knight Free LC rather than Lords or anything. Not saying it's a unit specifically, but that sort of scale addition to the game. The event gave us a chance to do something, so we took it. Now, here's the interesting thing. It says, having said that, I can say it won't be the last addition to Warhammer. It says, as mentioned in the previous blog a few months ago, we've been thinking about what sort of content could be added. We've hit on something we think is a pretty good opportunity to add more content to the game. So the Old Friend, they said think about something like the Blood Knight Free LC. Now they're saying down here, though, that beyond that one, there's more content coming, and it's going to be a new race pack released later in the year. So up here they say summer. Here they say later in the year. It makes it sound like that the Old Friend is coming sometime sooner this summer, and this one maybe early fall or late summer. It depends on when they're going to release Warhammer 2. Obviously, they're trying to give us something to kind of chew on before Warhammer 2 comes out, and this makes me start to wonder if Warhammer 2 isn't maybe a little bit later in the fall than I would have originally anticipated. All this is speculation, though. I don't know. But there's a new race pack coming for Total War Warhammer. How freaking awesome is that? And I'm sorry, it's not Kislev. They say it's right here. That would have been pretty cool if it was Kislev. I really want to see some bear cavalry, but who's it going to be? I have no idea. I would imagine it's some faction that has to be tied to the old world. Is it going to be one of the factions already on the map, like Tylea or Estalia or something? I guess it could be. They don't really say it won't be here, but they do say something here. They says it's not Kislev, but they said they have got some rather unique gameplay mechanics for this new race. I don't know. Chaos Dwarves? Daemons of Chaos? Ogre King? I don't know who fits into this. I don't really know the Total War Warhammer Old World that well, but this is exciting. So what they're saying right here makes me think that it may not be one of the factions you currently see on the map. It could be something new. But this is exciting. So this means Warhammer's going to get more content. Some kind of unit DLC and then a race pack. Extremely awesome news. Once again, Creative Assembly, yes! More of this, please. More of this. All right, Warhammer 2 team. We know they're going to have a working demo at E3. If you're going to be in the Los Angeles area, then I would suggest you can go to E3 and you can check this out. It says they're going to give you a flyover of the campaign map and a couple other interesting things to let you know about. Now let's move on to some other news. Eric, you always show Warhammer and you always talk about Warhammer. I hate Warhammer. I can't stand it. That's a bunch of stupid sissy crap fantasy. Okay, well then the next news is for you. All right, I overdid it a little bit. That may have been on purpose. It's okay, I get it. Some of you don't like Warhammer. I'm just having fun. So, historical new content team. So what they tell us is, and this is interesting down here, and I'll give you a couple thoughts on it. It says the most recent project team to kick into full production is now working on a particularly large campaign pack DLC for one of our more recent historical releases. So what does that mean? Well, it's probably got to be Rome 2 Ratilla, based on this art that they're putting here, this concept art. To me, this looks like Germanic, and if it is, it looks like Germanic something to me, like a campaign pack, and quite honestly, if it's Attila and it's more Germanic stuff, then, it was already Germanic Total War, so I'm hoping that maybe this is a Rome 2 campaign pack, and I don't know, maybe this is some kind of Germanic edition for them or something. It looks Germanic to me with the wolf pelts, and I don't really know a ton about this stuff, but that's just kind of what it strikes me as. Maybe I'm wrong. I really don't know. Any thoughts on this? one way or the other, whether it's Attila or it's Rome 2, obviously we're going to cover this. And if it's a new campaign pack, I'm going to play through the campaign, and I'm excited about it. Both of those games were deeply flawed, in my opinion, but offered a lot of fun and had a lot of things that were great. And I'm excited to play it. And for those of you who want to see something besides Warhammer, absolutely, we're going to jump into that. And I applaud Total War for looking at those games and helping to bridge the gap for the Total War fan who likes the historical titles, so they don't have to wait forever for some new content. So great move. This is fantastic. Again, more of this, please. Now, here's where it gets really interesting, and I don't know exactly what to make of this. We have the historical team and the historical Flashpoint team. These are two different teams, which would make me tend to think they're working on two different projects, and I think I understand that right. So it says, development of our next major historical release continues apace with the team focusing on some fantastic UI, yes please, and environmental work recently to capture the mood of this unique setting, yes. So it says unique setting that we've yet to explore in any previous Total War game. So what this tells us is we're not going to get some kind of Medieval 3 or Shogun 3 or Rome 3 or whatever it would be. It's going to be something new. My guess is probably they're going to go into something like China, because of the way they're making this sound. But it's just a guess. I have no idea. I'm just venturing that out. So here's the other interesting thing. It says historical Flashpoint team, which I haven't been paying attention to this blog. Maybe this was here last time, but it says we're pleased to say that our plans for a new standalone title have come to fruition. Whoa, so wait a minute. There is a new historical Total War on the horizon, and there's this historical Flashpoint team. They're saying they have their own title that they're working on. So this is two historical titles. It says it's a new standalone title, and the team's now in full production on the exciting release. We've been thinking a lot about how our major releases cover eras. Our character-based follow-ups span the events of iconic lives like Napoleon or Attila, but that we are interested in flashpoint moments, those shorter, intense periods where events could have unfolded in any direction, dramatically changing the course of history. Fall of the Samurai being based in the Boshin War is a great example, and we are planning this new title to be similar in intent. So, I'm guessing what that means. It says, if we go back and read just a little bit, it says, we are planning to set this in a new era we have already visited, but will cover a particular period we are very fond of and haven't done enough justice to. So what this tells us is this is going to be something like Fall of the Samurai or like Napoleon Total War that's going to tag on to an existing Total War title. It sounds like it could be anywhere, Empire, Rome, whatever it is, and then they're going to take it and tag on a character-driven type campaign. So this is pretty cool. There's two historical titles in development. So for those of you complaining there's too much Warhammer, there you go. You now have something to look forward to. So was this not great news? I'm giving away free stuff, which is awesome. FFA's coming back, which is awesome. The High Elf Army roster is amazing. Warhammer 2 is in full development and is coming later this year, which is amazing. More content for Warhammer 1. Two historical titles. How could you not be excited about this news? I am freaking stoked. Every last bit of this news is awesome. I was so disappointed at some points after the release of Rome 2 and again during Attila, and I have to say I have been pleasantly happy with the things that Creative Assembly has been doing recently. Warhammer, when it released, got quick attention. It got patches on things that need to be patched. And, I mean, the game is super fun. The campaign is engaging. There's all kinds of mods. There's custom maps, which has blown my mind. It's like the most amazing experience I've ever had in a campaign before. And now you tack on the Warhammer 2's on the way. Two more historical titles with all their winning. Things are looking really good for Creative Assembly, in my opinion, right now. It is their game to lose. They are on an upward trajectory, in my opinion. Again, none of this is paid. They didn't give me a trip anywhere. I wasn't able to make another trip, so this is my honest opinion. I think they're headed in a great direction, and I think that we all have a lot of things to look forward to as Total War fans. What do you think? Leave your thoughts in the comments. I want to see what you think. Did I get any of the news wrong? Please feel free to correct me if I said something wrong or you think I misunderstood something. I'm human. It happens. I mess up a lot. Hope you all enjoyed this. HeirofCarthage signing out. Can't wait to see your reaction. I'll see you soon.